This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social and Association with Forged Irish Stout and Empire Fight Store. I've kept the man waiting a little bit this morning. We did say 9:15. You were ready early. I was making a coffee. As of right now, it is 9:16. So technically, we've started on time, Joe.
Well, technically we haven't because I said 9:15 and it's 9:16. So, but listen, I ain't gonna cry over spilled milk. Um, yeah, I'm good, man. What are you saying? What's happening?
Nice to speak to you again. How was Dubai?
Yeah, beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna be me in the next year or so. Over there, not for good, obviously, but for maybe 5, 6 years. I don't know. See how it goes. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
You know you're proper big leagues now. I was with a mate yesterday, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was in Dubai when Joe Cordina was out there. You know, you're the man now."
Who was that?
You wouldn't know who he is, but
Uh,
still,
yeah, of course. But I don't know about big leagues. I just keep the feet on the ground. But um, yeah, to be honest, over there it's a lovely place. Enjoyed it. You're surrounded by big people that got things going on, and it inspires you. Do you understand? And it's listen, th- regardless if you're big over here in the UK, you go over to there and you're not big anymore. Do you understand? Is listen, that money is it don't run out. So if you think you're big over here and you go over there and try and act big and try and keep up, it's not going to happen.
I would.
But it's just a much better way of life. You're surrounded by ambitious people, people that are, like I say, got things going on all the time and will elevate you in your field. So and there's a million and one things to do out there. So yeah, it's a lovely place, and like I said, you're surrounded by good people.
Just quickly, what's we're gonna release this over like the festive period. So what's that like for you? You don't have a fight date. I imagine you can enjoy yourself a little bit. You're at home with the kids. Is it a nice time of year for you?
Yeah, I love this time of year, but at the same time, I'm training. I'm training twice a day. Um, the phone can ring at any point, so I'll make sure I'm ready. Over this Christmas, I'm not going to enjoy it as I normally would,
Okay.
but yeah, like I was in the gym last night. I'm in the gym this morning. I was in the gym yesterday morning, twice the day before. So I'm grafting. Just know that.
2023 as a whole, for your boxing career, how would you sum it up?
Mixed emotions, really. Obviously, great in a sense of me fighting twice and getting the win, two world title fights, getting the wins. But at the same time, I had to at the start of the year, I had to bounce back after being stripped. So yeah, it was the first part of it was a bit of balling and a bit of a kick in the balls as well. Yeah. Well, opposite kicking the balls and it was a ball leg after, but yeah, it was on a whole, yeah, it was decent, decent.
I suppose firstly, the Rakhimov fight, what a fight it was.
Yeah.
Um, Atmosphere in there was absolutely incredible. How sort of relieved were you? Obviously, I remember we done like a little wrap up this time last year, and it was all about being two time. Hearing that and getting your hand raised again, a very special feeling.
Yeah, well, to be honest, there's a lot of people I don't think, well, out there that thought I wasn't going to get the win, and that's genuine. I don't think they thought I'd beat Rakhimov, but I know my capabilities and I know what when I might perform, and then listen. There's very little fighters out there that will beat me when I'm on my A game. So, um, and not only that, I had a couple of things happen through that camp. So with that, I'm not saying I would have performed 10 times better, but I reckon maybe a 1 or 2%, and them little 1 or 2% make a difference, and they show a lot, especially in the fight game. But um, yeah, I was happy with the performance. He was a tough geezer, um, and yeah, it just stood me in good stead moving forward.
Edward Vasquez. Now, obviously, that fight took place in Monaco, and a lot of the build-up, even when I would speak to you, was, I know you're not overlooking this guy, but who else do you want to fight? And it was always talk about, the biggest names, the Vegas days,
Yeah,
the unification, stuff like that. Do you think now, in hindsight, maybe part of you did overlook him, and maybe no fault of your own, but this is boxing, right? You just get asked questions and you have to answer.
yeah. First and foremost, he's a fucking sausage. I don't like that warm whatsoever. He's just, I don't know who he thought he was after, especially. But listen, it is what it is. On a bad day, he couldn't beat me, so that just shows how shit he is. Um, but yeah, it ended up playing out a decent, well, not a decent, a tougher fight than I thought it was going to be. No fault rather than my own. Do you understand? It was things that I done wrong, and that's why I performed the way I performed. Now you put me a Rakhimov performance against Edward Vazquez, I would have wiped him out. I would have got him out of there. But nevertheless, that's that. Yeah, subconsciously maybe I did overlook him. I was trying to tell myself I wasn't. Um, but it happens, and it is always big fights out there. There's big fights being talked about, and yeah, regardless whether you don't think you're overlooking them subconsciously, you're gonna be thinking, what's next? I have to win this. I gotta win this, but this is next if I win this. So it's yeah, it was a bit. It, I wasn't happy with my performance whatsoever. So uh, but I was just happy to get a win. If I can get a win in with a bad performance against someone like him who's been in with good fighters, um, and yeah, got a win with a bad performance. Imagine what I could do with him in a with a good performance. Do you get me? So yeah, but listen, I don't like him whatsoever. He's a sausage.
You spoke a lot about someone like Navarrete in
Yeah,
2024. Have you had any conversations with Eddie and Frank? Whenever I ask them, they just sort of say, "Look, Joe wants the biggest fights next year, whether that be financially, like you just want to be in the biggest occasions."
yeah. I want to be in the I want to be in the biggest fights. I don't know how many times I gotta say that to either. Well, I don't really speak to Frank about it because he always deals with Charlie because they're mates, obviously. Um, but when I spoke to Eddie, that's all I want is the biggest fights. I said, like, I don't know, like before they were trying to line me up with Zalfa, but unfortunately, it just don't make financial sense to me. There was a few things that they said to me. Um, oh, it's a big fight. It's a big fight. Da, 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 da. Well, if it's a big fight, pay me big fight money. Don't beat around the bush. Like, pay me big fight money, and then I'll sort it. I'll deal with it. And then and then they were like, "Oh yeah, but you've outgrown. We can't do a big." And this is another one. We can't do a big fight in the motor points in the Cardiff International Arena. Okay, so we had all the time. I boxed in, was it April 22nd, April 22nd, April, May, June, July, August. We could have done it in August, start of August or whatever. And then even the start of July, could have done Cardiff Castle, could have done the Cardiff Arms Park. There was no rugby on. Could have done. Well, it would have been hard to do the Cardiff City Stadium because I don't think me or Zalfa or whoever in the UK would have done that. But saying you've outgrown that, but then he booked Cardiff International Arena again. So I just thought he was not taking a piss, but I just didn't think he was trying to push for them big fights for me, and he was trying to just line me and Zelfa up all the time. It just didn't make sense for me. It's like, how can I say? It's like how can I say? It's like, for instance, AJ or Fury going to fight Joe Joyce. It's not going to happen. Do you understand? He just got beat Joe Joyce, and then it's like Fury going to defend his belts against Joe Joyce when he just lost, and giving him another chance, even though it's a tough fight, it's a risky fight for him because stylistically, they I think it's a tough fight, but it just don't make sense. So yeah, it's one of them.
I remember I don't know how long ago now, maybe September time, where you and Eddie were in Cardiff and apparently looking at venues and stuff. Did anything ever
Yeah.
materialize on that?
Nah, I think he was just trying to humour me. That's all. He was trying to humour me, but nah, nothing ever got talked about after that. So
Did you get your Rolex?
nah,
Oh.
I thought, do you know what, bro? I thought he's a man of his word. That's what I thought. He always says, "I'm a man of my word," but clearly not. But like I've said, I don't need. I've got 14 watches anyway, so I don't really need his watch. He can keep his watch.
2024 then. I suppose it looks like Lee Wood will be rematching Josh Warrington.
Yeah.
Um, There's a fight. I feel like I know your answer, but I spoke to Jordan Gill recently. He said he'd like to fight you. Is that realistic?
Not really. The thing is, like, Conlon, unbelievable. I love Conlon. He's been around for the amateurs with me. Went to the same tournaments, won the same tournaments. I know him well. Do you understand? Great fighter, and I think he's just caught Jordan Gill caught him at a good time, and Jordan Gill's a good fighter also. But don't like Conlon's come off a few losses now. I think two before Jordan Gill, and then I've seen their little clip. I think you put up. Um, I think I deserve it. What have you done in my weight for you to deserve a world title? Nothing. So don't shout at me you deserve it. Yeah, everyone want to fight me because I got a title, but at the same time, you don't deserve it. Why don't you fight yourself about it? Go and fight yourself about it. Go and fight yourself about it, and then maybe you can get in line. But still, they're all right down the rankings in the IBF, so it don't make sense for me. One, because he haven't got a following, so it's not going to be a big fight. And then Eddie's going to moan, "Oh well, the revenue ain't there. It's not there." For the motor point, like I'll do the motor point on my own, so it doesn't matter who I fight. I'll do the motor point, but um I'm saying motor point. I don't even know what it's called now. They're changing the name every 2 minutes. But the motor point's on my own. But then, if we went to wherever, even if we went to Manchester, for example, if we went to wherever Jordan's from, I don't know.
Peterborough United Stadium.
Yeah, he's definitely not feeling that. So yeah, it's yeah, it just don't make sense, does it really?
I'm now just on BoxRec and going through the people at £130. We know that sort of the back and forth that happened with Oshaki
Yeah.
Foster. He's now got a fight scheduled. Uh, Obviously, Lee Wood in there. We look at the Warrington rematch, and then we know Navarrete off the back of a draw. That sort of seems to be it. I mean, is there when you're looking for? I mean, do you ever even potentially like explore a move up to £135? I
I'm
mean,
I'm I'm only having one more fight at Super Feather. I'm having one more fight at Super Feather, and then I'm going up to lightweight.
have you spoke to Charlie at all then? Because obviously the landscape's pretty tied up and sort of like I say, that domestic fight. I mean, obviously one with like yourself with Warrington or Wood would be huge, but it looks like they're going to be tied up now. Like, have you? What are you now pushing on your side?
Just the big money fights. Like the thing is, like I don't understand uh why Lee would have just went back to that. I know, yeah, okay, he's gonna fill out the the stadium, the City Stadium, because Warrington. It's not really because of Wood. I don't think it's more Warrington fan base, and then that building that. But if you put Lee Wood against Zelfa Barrett, for instance, in there, it's not going to sell. So I don't know. I don't care what they say, but yeah, okay, you want that, but you telling you want a world title. I got a world title, and I was in your stable, matchroom. So why not visit that? But listen, each to their own. Like I won big money fights. He wants to fight Warrington again in City Ground, so crack on. But like I said, I'm only having one more fight at Super Feather. Once I fight at Super Feather and win at Super Feather, I'll vacate the belt and then all you can fight.
Because of the
So,
contractual situation, if Lee beat Josh, he had to have the City Ground
yeah.
fight. That was proposed to you. Would you have gone to the City Ground to make that fight?
Yeah, but what I would have said is, well, we'll do a 2-fight deal then. One at Cardiff City and one at
Okay.
Nottingham City. And then we would have gone from there. But at the same time, yeah, it is what it is, man.
All right, Joe. I suppose then just a couple on the lads in the gym. I suppose firstly, actually, Craig Richards has now gone to the McGuigan gym. Just your thoughts?
Yeah. Gutted because
Yeah.
Spidey's my boy, and he's a good friend of mine. Probably one of my best mates in boxing. Probably my best mate in boxing. So yeah, it's shit really because I'm gonna be last on all the runs now. You
Oh,
understand? So but yeah, nah. Listen, he's got to do what's best for him and his career. Do you understand? And I think um yeah, there was yeah, he had to do what's best for him basically, and that's if that was what he wanted to do, and that's what he had to do, and so be it. But I'm happy for him, man. I spoke to him not yesterday, day before, and yeah, he was he's he's getting himself back where he's like he's having that little buzz again about boxing. So at times I was seeing him in the gym, and he had no like motivation because he was just coming in the gym, plodding along. We're having the crack. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's good having the crack, but you gotta switch on. You gotta flip that switch, and I think now him being there is relighted his fire.
John Ryder goes to America. Jaime Munguia.
Correct.
He's I actually favour him in that fight.
And I do. He's on the grill, and he's strong. Munguia is obviously tough, strong, and a good fighter, but at the same time, he's never been in with anyone the same as Ryder that will hold his power, hit him back just as hard, rough him up, and you ain't gonna really be able to budge him. So, and to be honest, I don't care who you are at super middle, you ain't gonna budge Ryder.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna budge him. So, yeah, you got Canelo. That Canelo's different gravy altogether to Munguia. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Um,
Do you
and
think
to be
in
honest, I
talking
would have.
about the Munguia and Canelo fight, they're almost overlooking John, which like seems mad.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But you know, I'm not gonna say John would have won if his nose didn't go in the second round, but it would have been. I think the fight would have played out a little bit different.
Yeah,
Not maybe not in the sense of him winning, but it would have been a lot closer. So, yeah, they're definitely overlooking him, and um, I think, I think, Ryder will proper put it on him.
Conor Benn looks like he's going to have a ring return. February 3rd was the date. I don't know how time sort of sensitive this will be. Obviously coming out over the Christmas period, but it looks like the Chris Eubank fight's not happening. What are your thoughts?
Um, Gutted because I want to watch that, and listen, he's been through the mill for the last like 18 months, 2 years, and he's what 18 months. So yeah, I would have liked to seen him earn a few quid and and beat Eubank. But listen, that don't seem like it's gonna happen now. But listen, he's got to move on. He can't just sit around waiting for Eubank, and because then it looks like he's desperate. Just crack on. There'll be another big fight. Like now, Devin Haney have come up the woodwork. They're speaking about Devin Haney, so there's always something. Do you understand for him? And he wants to be in big fights. Yeah, he wants to win titles, but at the same time, he's securing his family is the main thing. Because, like, look, uh, like I said to someone the other day, they went like financial security. That's all you need in boxing. He said, and I said, well, look at this. I said, I had to think about it. I said, you know, when I retire and I got my 2 world titles and maybe a few more world titles on top of it, I said, if I got them, I said, I'll sell them. Maybe I'll get 10 grand for them just because they're mine. And like maybe a super fan. But if I sell them, I bear in mind I got no money and I sell them, and then 10 grand, well, and if I got say three belts, 30 grand, 30 grand, you know, like what can you do with 30 grand really these days?
Is that is that not a shame though? Like that, look, I just think young Joe, yeah, amateur Joe,
Yeah,
who dreamed of that world title, he
yeah,
wouldn't be having this. Do you not almost like? Do you? So you're unbeaten, and I find it mad. But do you almost feel like you're becoming a bit sick of the sport?
100%. Well, look at this. I think since all this, how can I say, the like the YouTube boxing, the YouTube fighting, and um, like, like when Eddie started putting like the MMA fighters against or whatever. It was, I don't know if it was Eddie who was the first one to do it. The MMA fighters against the boxers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When all that started happening, it all went off the thing of world titles. No one cares about world titles no more. Don't get me wrong, it's always good to become a world champion and whatever, but no one cares. As long as they're getting a few quid. And that's what it's come down to now. So for me, um, for the up and coming fighter, the one who's starting out, and world titles is the aim because when you get to world titles or you become or if you're a personality or whatever, that draws in the crowds, that draws in the money and whatever else. But it's all about the money. Let's not get it twisted. I can I can feed my family with belts.
You wouldn't sell your belts.
No, I wouldn't even if I had my last pound. I would never ever sell my belts. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
I did sell my belts, they're worth fuck all really.
Mm.
It as a pride thing and an achievement, and I'm one of 13 in Wales to do it. Um,
Is that itself
so
not one of the best feelings in the world, waking up and looking at that strap? No, that's some
they're
G.
above. Oh yeah, they're above my TV, and I got the spotlights on them, and I I live by a school, and a high school, so where I'm my they're facing say if I'm sat on the sofa, they're facing me, but the kids got to walk past, so potentially they could see them shining light shining up like that. So yeah, it's always good, and I'll be sat there in the morning and I'll be looking, and they're all trying to look through the window see if I'm there, and some of them wave and some of them don't, but yeah, it's good, man. It's good feeling knowing I've achieved my lifelong goal. I've achieved everything I've set out to do. Everything that's going from amateurs to pro. So, um, the only thing I haven't won is European title. But who
You
gives
ain't
a
going
fuck?
back to that now.
No,
Yeah.
do you know what? Do you know what I'd love?
Go up to London
Um,
and win it.
no,
I was going to say.
No, I was to win the British title outright.
Yeah.
I'd like to have done that, but I didn't because I was getting
Did you
moved
have to
quite
buy
quickly.
one of the replica ones?
Yeah, well, I didn't buy it. Someone sent me one the other day, and it's a fucking good one as
Oh,
well.
only the other day?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Not many people stick around at British level long enough to win it outright. There used to be
Nah,
5-3, right?
three. No, it used to be two. Used to be
Oh, okay.
two. Yeah, it's gone to three now. But yeah, it's hard work, isn't it? Because them British title fights are hard,
Yeah,
hard graft. I'd rather. Do you know what? Probably one of my hard, like obviously you got Rakhimov, but one of my hardest fights, toughest fights, physically was against Gavin Gwynn.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
But that was ages ago now.
yeah, and that's a British title, and he's a problem for anyone at British, for British title. Do you understand? So, yeah, it's don't really want to be sticking around there. Actually, you probably you're trying to defend that too many times. You probably end up punch drunk.
Well, Joe, lovely speaking to you. What's your message to the people watching over the Christmas period?
I hope you all have a blessed Christmas with your families, your loved ones, your friends. Don't hold back. Don't hold back and start. I can't put too much weight on it. Just enjoy it.
What
Enjoy
I'm doing.
it because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Like one of my cousins passed away not so long ago, so he's the same age as me, and yeah, it just shows that you could be taken just like that. So yeah, enjoy yourself with and enjoy the Christmas with your loved ones, and just keep an eye out because there might be some news coming soon.
Joe Cordina, thank you very much for speaking to us at Boxing Social.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.